All right, so welcome to another episode. Today we're going to take a look at Airbnb. This stock is down about 33% right now, and we're going to check it out and see what's going on, what's happening. So let's get started and kick things off. Keep in mind, none of these are recommendations to buy, sell, or trade, just my opinion. And if you want to get my opinion, you can join our Discord group as well, and that will give you an idea to, hey, suggest something, request something, and I'll be able to do your stock pick and give you a detailed insight on it. So go to join the Discord group. You can find it on the bottom of this description or on our website at tradersfly.com. And there's a lot of other great stuff there as well. Courses, training material, live stuff, all that good stuff, one-on-one coaching sessions. Anyways, let's check out Airbnb. It's down quite a bit. And as we look at this Airbnb, right here, you can see we're pushing it, pushing lower on the stock in the last, day here. But look at the last month here. We've got into some higher prices and then the stock's just kind of rolling over. If you look at Airbnb, it's basically vacation rentals, right? So that's kind of what we're doing. And a lot of people not traveling as much, but this is basically an app play or just based on sentiment. We can see we got into some highs. This is kind of a double top. So it's a problem with this double top. Oh no, that's not good, right? So yeah, it's a big problem. Even though it doesn't hit it perfectly, remember it's a joining point. It's kind of in that range or area. So we got a double top, that's an issue. Here we've got kind of a, you could say right now, a triple bottom. We might be getting into a quadruple bottom. So what is the price area to watch? Definitely this one. That is the price area. And that is the huge area. That's 130. That's what you want to watch. For this stock. If it holds here, that could be a good sign. I think though, if we get here and we get a bounce, we might get a bounce to around this 160 level, which is kind of where we played around in 2021, May, June, July. And if we get there and we sell off, that could be a problem. And that's where the A to B, B to C, C to D could start playing out. And that would be obviously to the bearish side. And that's if the market weakness continues. So in other words, if we go down here, we pop up here, somewhere around there, and we go down, watch out for that, because that is the thing to be careful about. And if this breaks 130, this stock could be done for a while, because a lot of names, like even Airbnb, when you can really compare it to like stuff like Uber, they just are not doing well, right? It's an app company, really, when you come down to it. It's an app company and it's been selling off. It's not good. So Airbnb priced a little higher, bigger valuation, vacation homes, a lot more margins than a $40 taxi cab. You got a $2,000 apartment or a vacation home. So you're watching kind of this 140, 130 price level. You're watching these levels. So if we can kind of hold here or hold here, that's great. But if this volume picks up and you start seeing this speed on picking up on the volume like that, then that'll be a problem. So, and if you get a bounce that's on weaker volume, right here, if we start rolling to this upside, doesn't matter if it's here or here, if we start rolling to this upside, you're watching kind of this level and some of these levels, and we could either reject here or reject here. And these are the spots to watch on those upside move. Other than that, the stock, overall, I think it's fine from a technical basis. We're okay. We're coming into that possible value buying opportunity. But again, you always want to be careful that this thing could roll over more, and don't let it suck you in. Like you get these power moves higher and then you get a sell-off, right? Power move higher, sell-off. So the same thing here, power move, sell-off. So be careful. If you get a move higher, watch out for that sell-off, and it creates a typical classical pattern, which is ABCD. Right now, in this stock, that key level, right around 130, 135, right? It's a range. It's not a one exact price point. It's around that level, 130. You set your own price level of what makes sense for you. So here, I'd say 130, so make it like 128 and 12, just to give it a little wiggle room. And that's what I would say, hey, that is kind of like an out point if you're a short-term trader. Longer-term investor, this stock is kind of new. It's hard to say, like, what's to come. Will it get into the $40 level? I have no idea. Will it get into the $60 level? We don't know. We don't know where the true valuation is on this because there's not a lot of history behind it. There's not a lot of history behind things like, Lyft or these apps, how well they do, or like even Twitter. There's not a lot of history behind these kinds of things. Yeah, Twitter's been around for a while, but even then, look at that stock price. It hasn't really broken beyond that. Look, it got into $15 a share, and now, we're coming back into about 30, kind of right back in the middle between these two levels. So the same thing here with Airbnb. It's kind of an app, and we just don't know. We're kind of just boxing ourselves in. There's the box. Boxing ourselves in this range. So when it bounces, we'll actually be kind of right in the middle again. So here we got the highs, here we got the lows. Other than that, we're really just sideways. So how do you trade this? Well, if you're doing vertical spreads, you can trade it on the bounces here. If you're doing other verticals where when you get a bounce, you can get the sell off, you could sell verticals or put verticals on this end as well. But for the time being, I mean, the stock is not doing as well. And I would watch for buy points at that 130. 130 could be a buy point. But if you buy at 130, make sure you spread your capital, right? If you got, let's say, $10,000 you want to spread around, spread some around in March, May, June, spread some around in these zones. Don't just buy it all in one day at one point, right? Spread it around, because that way what you could see is if that stock does start heading lower, if you have an out or stop at like 126 or 128, then you're out and you didn't allocate everything. On the other hand, if it starts going up, you could add more money very quickly. So anyways, that's my take on this one, is just watch out for those key levels. Spread your money, right? Not in one day. And then it makes much more better sense for stocks like this one, especially ones that are pulling back and you're trying to bottom fish, because on the bottom, there's always a little mess, a little bit of dirt, and you want to be careful you don't pick up some of that soot. 130 is kind of the spot. And if it can hold there, by all means, great. If it doesn't, then make sure you don't put everything. You don't put all your worms on your hook for one fish. You spread it out, right? You put two, three fishing poles, one worm on each one, and now you might be able to catch something. So the same thing here. Spread your money across a couple weeks, couple months, and it spreads your capital. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to check out our Traders Fly website. There's a lot of great options trading tutorials in there. And if you want to get a one-on-one session as well, you could reach out to me on that website to get more insight on working together, brushing you up on some technicals or even options as well. Thanks again, and I will see you next time.